Hey guys, what's up? Hope you're doing well. For today's video, I want to talk about guild perks. It's something I've talked very little about, mostly because I've never been like guild leader and had to consider it a whole lot. And so now that I am a guild leader and we've got some renown to spend, we've got 1,000 right now, then we're going to talk about what I've spent it on so far and what I'm planning on spending it on now, and we're going to spend the rest of it. So let's just get into all of the different things to do with guild perks and guild boosts, my opinion on them, what I think is most important, what I prioritize, etc. So first things first, of course, is guild level. Guild level doesn't necessarily do anything for your guild other than just unlock more of the perks and everything that you're going to want to unlock later on. So these, for example, don't unlock until guild level 50, 55, 60, etc. And so guild level is very important when you want to be unlocking later perks. For example, this doesn't unlock until level 42, but that's all that guild level is going to do. So other than that, everything is either a perk or a boost. So let's go to the boost side first. There's craft boost, resource boost, quest boost, and XP boost. So there's 4 different types of boosts that you can unlock and upgrade, and then obviously spend renown to keep that up for 1 day at a time. And if you upgrade it, obviously it adds time and it adds effectiveness as well. So this is max boost level is 0. When you increase the max boost level, then you can boost it farther, which means you're going to get a greater percentage. So 5% all the way up to 25%, or 10%, all the way up to 50% or whatever it is. I don't know necessarily. It's been a while since I've been in a high level guild, but in my opinion, I think guild boosts are more of a later game thing, or when your guild has gotten the majority of the perks, because this is going to be a short-term gain that is going to use a large portion of the boost that you have. And so I would say that it's not as important to have those boosts running, especially in the early levels, because that's going to take away from the long-term perks that you're going to be getting. So the majority of this, we're just going to focus on talking about perks. Boosts are obviously fantastic. Crafting speed and resources and quest boost, XP, like they're all really good, but that's not going to be the focus of this. Late game, I would say resource boost is your absolute best friend, and quest boost would be a very close second. Those would be my priority. Craft boost doesn't matter as much because you can rush it with energy, and when you have enough energy max, then you can just small talk, sell tier 1s, and just rush any craft that you want, so it doesn't really matter. But resource boost, it's going to allow you to craft way faster, and quest boost is actually really nice for the resting speed, because the more questing that you're doing, of course, you're making a ton more money in the late game. So those would be my priority for boosts. So let's talk about all of the different things that you can unlock. I'll show you what I've done with the 1300 that we've spent so far, and then we'll spend the 1100. So we have spent 1300, a little bit below that actually, just because we've only had like a week and a half worth of renown to spend. So bounty board capacity I really like, because obviously when you go to bounties in your quest screen, there is a limited number that you can choose from. But having a longer list, obviously there's more chances that you're going to get easier ones, whether it be discount items or surcharge items, or certain dungeons that you're already doing, or certain crafts that you're already doing. And so having more to choose from just makes it easier for your guild as a whole to accomplish your 1,000, which is really nice. It just makes it easier, and you can get through them a lot faster. Guild choice cooldown. It kind of depends, I think, on how your guild does buildings, because at the start, of course, it's 8 hours to switch the sigil, but when you get the cooldowns, then it can go all the way down to only 1 hour. So if you're a guild that kind of just throws the sigil around wherever and just wants to do kind of one building at a time, or just throws it around so people can invest wherever they want efficiently, then having that is really nice, because then you don't have to wait 8 hours. It can literally be 1/8 of the time. So I don't think that that's necessarily like the biggest perk in the world, but it is really nice to have it done. You've got common resource capacity and uncommon capacity and rare resource capacity. So, those 3 are nice to have, but I don't think that it's the most important thing in the world. Like, one upgrade may make the difference between you needing to have 1 bin or 2 bins out, depending on, how your crafting rotation and stuff works. So it is nice to have them, especially when they're cheap upgrades and you have some extra renown. Why not? but I don't think that those are at the top of the list by any means. Storage capacity and component stack size, I think it's similar, where it's nice to have. Having extra storage, of course, is always nice, but I wouldn't say that that's top priority either, although it's handy to have it, right? Trade offer, trade request, I mean, it only increases it by like 2 or 3 at a time, like per upgrade. So I feel like, as much as that's nice to have as well, it's not going to make a crazy world of difference. Resource regen, on the other hand, I feel like this is absolutely a game changer. And resource pack capacity is really nice as well. But especially in the late game, rare resource regen is by far the most important one. Why do I say that? When you are crafting late game tier 8, tier 9, tier 10, tier 3 resources, which are these two resources, the jewels and the ether, are always going to be the bottleneck. Those are always going to be the ones that you're going to run out of eventually. And unless you're refilling those with resource packs or gems, you're going to run out of them. And so having this as high as your late game guild possibly can is probably going to be the highest priority. Obviously, that's a really long ways off for us, months probably, but this is absolutely huge. The other two are, of course, nice as well, but I don't think as important because you're going to run out of rare resources at some point anyways, unless, you have a low requirement for 2 of your items and then you're just crafting like daggers and runestones so you don't need them. So then, of course, these are going to come into play a lot more. But for the most part, late game players, rare resources is going to be a bottleneck, especially during certain events. So definitely one that I would prioritize. And the last thing I want to talk about, and of course, one that I prioritize above anything else, is energy. You guys know that I'm huge about energy. It's the most important thing in the game. It's going to help you to sell efficiently, craft efficiently, speed everything up, play quickly, and make more money, period. This is the most important thing in the game. And so as you can see, I've prioritized this over absolutely everything else. So if you think about it, even at 6 energy per, and you look at how many racks I already have out at level 43, you add 6 energy multiplied by how many that I have out right now, you're looking at a couple hundred extra energy, which is like 25% of my energy boosted just by having a week and a half worth of perks. Like, it's absolutely a massive change, and I think really, really important to have that up as high as you possibly can. So with that in mind, we're going to spend 150 to do that one, 150 and 150. And so those are all max now, and the next ones aren't available until level 42. And so my goal for next week is to have this 800 renown done. And so I want to be within 200 renown of level 42. So we're going to go up in levels, probably see where this is at, and be within level, like striking distance for the renown that we have left, minus 200 of getting level 42. So let's see kind of what that's going to look like. Looks like 40 renown per level and 50 now. So I know this feels wasteful, and it probably is wasteful. Like, it's up to 75 per level. So I realize that that's pretty huge, but I genuinely think that it's worth it to just have more energy. Now, I'm not going to go all the way and just spend every single one. We might be a little bit short on getting all 800 because I want to do some smaller upgrades that are going to be beneficial immediately, like common resources and uncommon resources. Like, those are really nice to have, and obviously they're super cheap upgrades compared to 200 each. But I'm going to say that the most important thing is getting your energy up. And so let's get a couple of more smaller upgrades here. Because our guild is getting larger, like we're already at 15 members, 15 out of 15. I like to have more bounties. I think that that's really important. I really don't know what to spend the last 185 on, though. I don't have 200 to do 2 or 3 different ones. So I could do 3 or 30, 100 and 50, or I could do 75 and 100. So I think that I'm just going to do the 75 for one more level, just to get us that little bit closer to the energy bonuses for next week. And then we'll do one more bounty board capacity, most likely. You know what, actually we're going to do guild choice and uncommon resources, so that'll give us a bit more of a boost in 2 different areas, and we've been getting bounties done very easily each week, so I think that that's fine. We're going to go with that. So guild choice cooldown, one more, because we've been throwing this sigil around a lot just to different buildings, because with a bunch of newer players we're able to level things up pretty quickly. And then one last boost there, so everything's at 75 or 100 other than component stack size, which I'm not super worried about. It's just +2, so I'm happy with that. Next week when we get another 1,000, I'll be getting guild level up to 42, getting as much as we can out of these, maybe 2 or 3 of those upgrades, and then just fill in kind of some gaps after that. I'm most likely not going to be getting any of these guild boosts at least for another month or two, simply because it's going to drain the renown by keeping them up throughout the week or even turning them on for certain events. And I really don't think that it's worthwhile, because then our perks are hurting in the long term. So that's pretty much it for this one. I just wanted to share my thoughts on the different perks that you can get, show you some spending, what I prioritize, and what I think is the most important. Hopefully it helps you guys out. I'm sure I missed things. If you guys have opinions or things that I missed, whatever it is, please feel free to let me know, drop a comment, DM me on Discord or whatever. And if anyone has more ideas for videos going forward of things that I can talk about, I'm more than happy to field those suggestions. So just let me know. So anyway, that's it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'll talk to you all soon. Peace out.